Hello everyone. Hi, welcome to another week here at TGCTours. We're here for the Vandelay Industries Cup at Pinedale Trails. After a rather tumultuous last week where I almost quit the tour and then I decided, hey, the cut line didn't run this week for some reason. I don't know what glitched out there. But we basically got given a second chance. I recalibrated my swing, and we managed to put together arguably the comeback of the freaking season here, dude. We managed to come from... Why is Chrome not working here? Give me a freaking second here, dude. Where's Chrome? There we go. There we go. I don't know why Streamlabs does this sometimes. But yeah, we were about 5 over at the end of round 2. We missed the cut, and we somehow managed to pull it back, and we managed to finish 7 under after a great round 3 and round 4 after we recalibrated. Finished 66 out of 132 participants. Congratulations to Cal Crossley and Nick Castleman, who put together some really great scores here. A round of 58 here. Holy boosh. That's an amazing score right there. Now we finished down here, right here around the middle of the pack. Now the score, the prize pot payouts and promotion marks and stuff haven't been calculated yet, as well as the golf rankings, because we're recording this about midway in the Sunday afternoon. So hopefully they'll be updated soon, so we can see them hopefully on a recording of a later round as time goes on. But for now, we're going to dive into the Vandelay Industries Cup here at Pinedale Trails. Took a couple of... Usually it's what I don't do, but just because it helped me during the week, I hit the driving range in free practice. Hit a couple of practice shots just to make sure that, you know, nothing was going fishy. Nothing was going to go wrong. Why do these look like bullets right here on the tee box? But so far so good for our swing calibration. we're doing fine. We've got a really narrow patch here to aim for down here at the back of the fairway here. I'm apprehensive about this because we're shooting with the wind carrying us. We're also going down about 18 feet. I don't think this is making fairway here, but we're gonna give it a try. It's got a little bounce, just rolls off the side into the heavy rough here. Okay, not the best start, absolutely not the worst start either. I'll try and chop our way out of this with... This would have been a great round to take the 3-iron if I still had it, but the 4-iron shall do. We've got the 68 to 75% of a carry distance, so we want to make sure that we aim a little bit left so that it'll drop right into this bottom fairway. Right before the bunker here. And that is exactly where it's going to land. Absolutely calculated. Great shot. And that leaves us with a nice little up and down to hopefully get us close to an eagle opportunity. Now, we're flopping for this. I'd like to try and flop this side of the pin. That's still full power. Not what I wanted to do at all here. Again, partial shots, not exactly my strong point, but it's okay. It looks like we have a steady enough shot here. 25 feet for birdie here on this first hole of the week. I think I might have overhit that. Nope, didn't overhit it, but slightly over adjusted. But that's okay. We'll just drop that in and get a nice little par to start us off. Would like to score points on those par 5s, but it's the first round of the day. It's the first hole of the day. So we're okay with just, finding our sea legs a little bit as we kind of get kicked off in earnest. And we've got a tough one here coming out of a bunker. 118 yards. Pitch up with the 7-iron might be enough to... Okay, I want to try and land around this little area here. Just in this little upper shelf so that I don't have to putt uphill. That would be very nice. Fasting out of here. It looks like we are going to land up there. Should have maybe experimented a little bit with the spins so that, it wouldn't have rolled so far off. Got a little bit of a downhill one here. 18 feet for birdie. My goodness, the shank on that attempt was horrific. My thumb just slipped there. That was really not great. But we come away with another par. And that is still totally fine. Big thanks to all of you who are in the comments, by the way. Encouraging me to go on and saying, hey, bad rounds happen to all of us. Don't quit. We love your videos. Thank you for those. It's really appreciative. It's really reassuring. And someone asked me, how am I so, they appreciate, how humble I am. Well, I don't know if, honestly speaking, I don't know if humble is probably the most accurate word that I would put to describe myself. I can have a little bit of an arrogant streak at times. But, when you come on to, a competitive environment that's quite like TGCTours, and you've got literally the best players of this game competing against you week in and week out, trust me, you learn to not be humble very, very fast. Because it's easy for you to sit around and you're just at home with your friends and you're like, I rule at this game is great, but when you've got 3,000 of the best players of that game in the world competing with you every single week, you learn to drop the arrogance real quick, especially when you're in the low division like I am. I'm only in CCK, there is at least 2,400 people ahead of me in the world golf ranks on TGCTours.com. So that keeps me humble. That keeps me working. And that keeps me constantly striving to try and improve myself, constantly trying to keep bettering myself. Because eventually, if I put in enough hard work, if I put in enough practice, which Lord knows I don't do any practice between rounds, that, someday I'll be able to find myself up there with these guys. That was a bad putt. I definitely overhit that. I definitely won't find myself up there with such great players if I putt like that. Leaving myself with a tricky 14-footer the other direction, but I still managed to make par. That's okay. We're still even through 4. Which, is not a bad spot to be, but it's not a great spot to be either. Would like to start putting some points up on the board right about now. 55-foot decline, but we are shooting into wind. Send it. Oof, that's very fast. Hate to have a wide open fairway and still miss it. That shouldn't have even been a challenging drive. I still got 300 yards out of it, which is fine, but I'm also getting heavy rough out of it, which is absolutely not. Now, our pin is at the front of the green. We do have a bit of a lie penalty coming out of here when we're also shooting into 7-mile-an-hour winds. We do have a 17-foot drop though, so double clubbing up to the 5-iron, and oh boy, that swing plane. Not great. We're going heavy rough to heavy rough, which is absolutely not good for us. I'll try and splash up with the gap wedge here and hopefully land us close to the pin for a par tap in. Lovely job. 3 feet. Almost whiffed that. And we remain even through 5. Yeah, really need to start sinking some of these right about now. Would be a great time to start. Oh my goodness. Somehow I'm still going to hit a fairway with this, but I am absolutely not in a good position here whatsoever. I'm like right behind a tree. I'm 60 yards down. This could be a tricky one. This could be a tricky one. Very fast coming out of here. It's a decent bounce and it'll leave us on the fairway on the very edge of the green. Just not actually a lot better of a place than I thought we would have possibly landed on that one. It is 4 eagle. I would like very much to go for this. Give me a bit of loft on my splasher. A little bit of backspin just to help with the landing. Not great. Still 14 feet away from the hole for birdie. A little bit of break here. That should drop. That should drop. Please drop. Let's go. First birdie of the round. Finally on the board after 6. So, you know, still could have been a much better start for us. But all things considered, we're still under par, which is a great place to be. This could be a tricky one here. We're down 56 feet. We're shooting into wind. I would like to club down twice, just because that altitude might be a big difference maker. That swing is absolutely not. At least I swung far left so that I'm not in the water. That is about the only positive that I can take from this. We're shooting out of mulch. And it looks like we're still going to be in a position where we can rescue a par out of this. Which is lucky. Is probably the most accurate word there for this. And drops it in. So yeah, bad first shot, recovered for par. That's, again, could have been better. Could have been a lot worse. Pars, we're still in a position where I'm treating getting par as a victory. Which I'm sure is setting the bar kind of low for myself. Oh my goodness. I was definitely not losing this much out on tempo whenever I was hitting the driving range before hitting record here this afternoon. I definitely wasn't shanking them to this same sort of degree here. Down 6 feet and we're still hitting into wind. Is it because I'm just not holding my controller like absolutely level? Okay, swing plane on that is absolutely still weird. Hit it fast, but I'm still going to overshoot the green actually. We could we can try and challenge for a hole in here. I don't think we're going to get it, but we can try and challenge for it. Could have left ourselves a lot closer there. And we've got a tricky little 10-footer for par here. Ah, just inches off. Oh, you hate to see that. Back to evens through 8. Alright, 9th hole. We've got a big decline here. Down 104 feet. If I had a good driver, I could probably absolutely send this one and hit it onto the green. My tempo is just, ooh. The swing plane issues I'm glad to have sorted, but the tempo is just, oh my word. It's just all over the place. A little bit fast coming out of there. Still managed to land ourselves on the green. We can still get a birdie and end this front 9 with a below par score. Thumbstick slip there. And we still managed to get birdie number 2. So the bogeyless round dream is dead officially, but we do go in at the halfway mark of round 1 below par. Alright, bit of a decline here. Just in case I do end up like super fasting this, I'm going to aim onto this left hand side. Again, with the very fast. I definitely wasn't doing it that bad on the practice rounds. And I play master difficulty on single player as well, so I'm really struggling to think where, like, what is the issue here. Oof, that's nothing short of dreadful on that attempt. This leaves us in a pretty hairy predicament here. I'll try and pitch up and try and get ourselves close to the pin and leave us on for a birdie attempt here. 105% power. It's good at leaving us close on, 10 feet from the hole, for bird. Break in, there we go. Drops home, and now we're 2 under. You love to see it, honestly. Would love to see us doing a bit better than this. I know we're capable. I know we are capable. That's the worst thing about it, is that I know that I can do better, but it's just not happening. That's the kind of perfect shots we should be hitting time and time again. However, it could have been better. We could have left ourselves a bit closer to the hole. We certainly could have left ourselves not on this little bit of an incline here. This break could really mess us up. We're 29 feet away from glory. We're shooting for birdie here. We just want to try and hit it enough so that we can kind of get it close for a 2-tap. Alright, mission accomplished. Very nearly actually got the birdie there. But that is exactly what we set out to do, was leave it close enough so that we don't have a tricky second putt. And sometimes that's the better option rather than just straight up going for it. Alright, we've got a downhill uphill here. 287 yards for the opening drive. Little bit fast. Swing plane's not entirely perfect. Do manage once again to land in the heavy rough. Got 324 yards out of that drive. Which is nothing to sneeze at, to say the least. Club up to the pitching wedge, try and climb our way out of here. The 32-yard raised incline, or 32-foot incline on this hill. We are going to be still on the green after 2 shots. We are going to be quite a way away from the pin. 25 feet, in fact. Does look like it's going to be a relatively flat putt. Has a little bit of left to right and a little bit of right to left just right at the hole. So birdie in this one could be a little tricky. Like to shoot right down the middle. Let's go! That's the kind of putts you love to see. That's the kind of putts I'm sure the computer's probably going to give us a replay on. Yep. Not that it was like a super challenging putt, because there wasn't that much break and it was relatively straight. There was no uphill to worry about. There was no downhill. Just flat land, smooth sailing from 25 yards out. Or 25 feet out. I can never get my units of measurement right. Just really embarrassing as a European who prides himself on the metric system. But anyway. Let's get back to the golf here, shall we? That's heading right towards that center bunker. Please stop short. Whew. Alright, stop short of that center bunker. Arguably a good shot. 9 iron up. Into the wind. Should leave us close to the pin. Hopefully. If we hit it straight. Narrator, he did not hit that straight at all. He absolutely did not hit that straight. Still gets it on the green though. 18 feet away with a decent amount of left to right break here. 18 feet away for birdie. That's an awkward swing and a miss. Let's go back 7 feet the other way for par. Ah, the break was too strong. That's what I want back. But look, we're still 2 under par. I know there's people at the top of the scoreboard who are who are 16 under through the entire first round. So, you know, that's what we're up against here. I'm really apprehensive about this. I don't like that water on the left. I really do not like that water on the left. I feel like I could go for it. I could absolutely go for this. But I would totally risk landing in the water. Even hitting it with the 4 hybrid was risky. That's 105% power and it's like going to be right at the very edge of this fairway. I just didn't want to risk driving it straight into the green because I knew that I'm looking at that water hazard. And I'm looking at it carefully and I'm just like, I want no part of this. If I hit this with like 103% power or so, it should land beyond that little slope. Oof, that's very, very fast. That is going to land beyond... Well, I mean, it's not even going to make the green, is it? It's going to be down here in the very rough. Almost in the water here. splash me up. And tap me home. Managed to get another par out of it. Even though we played safely, we still didn't play our best. Which only serves to damage ourselves. But I lost my freaking train of thought here. That's probably one of the best drives I've had all round. Why can't I do that every drive? One would think. Driver off the deck here is very risky, but I think we can get close to home here on this. We're only losing 10% on the lie penalty, but we should be getting pretty close to just leaving ourselves with a nice little up and down on the edge here. Look, I'm no good at partial shots. I just decrease the loft here on the splasher. Not a very good splash. Do we get the green in regulation? Do have a little bit of a lie to contend with here. 19 feet. And we're going slightly uphill for birdie here. Just short. Just short. That's unfortunate. I do think driver off the deck was the better play rather than the wood. I'll maintain that was still a good shot. I just, don't really have the execution required to, make it as great as I possibly could. And that is definitely one of the worst shots of the round. Even managed to hit that little post there. Find ourselves right behind two trees here and right in the freaking path. Alright, this could be a very risky play. Did manage to come out of there pretty cleanly. Managed to find our way all the way at the back little fringe of the green on the fairway. We can still chip this and go the other way for birdie. It's possible. Not going to get the birdie here, but if it's going to roll a little bit further than I would have liked here. 8-footer for par. Break in. It's fine. It's good scramble, but again, we need to focus on trying to get our tempo nailed before round 2, because that is what's killing our rounds. There's no two ways to put that. Like that is where our game is faltering, is the tempo. Like if that wasn't fast, it's on the green. And because it is, now it's in the heavy rough instead of on the green. Now we have to try and chip in, just to try and get ourselves somewhat close. I feel like the gap wedge is going to be going too much. It's a nice little roll and should stop us about 6 feet away. And we'll still manage to get a par out of it at least. Yeah, not the greatest first round. We're still only 2 under par. And we still have 1 hole to go, but, you know, rule of averages say that I'll probably get a par here. Sounded like a decent drive. It's just magnetized toward that bunker though. Gonna kick out. 3-2-2 leaves us in the shade for our second shot. Give me a high angle pitch shot up here and try and get me in close. That's not going to be close. That's going to like grossly overshoot into that heavy rough once again. Can we splash up from here and leave ourselves close for a par? I think so. That's close enough. And we drop it in for a par, just as predicted. So, 2 under par to finish the first round. There's a lot that I can build on there. There's a lot that I could have absolutely done better with. However, I think looking at last week, those are nice kicks actually. But yeah, looking at last week, it's certainly a better start. I think we can build upon this. I think we're doing well. And we're going to get ready to dive straight into round 2 here. And hopefully you'll join me tomorrow for that. So thanks again for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. Really appreciate all the support. And I'll see you guys next time. Take care.